What's good? Can they hear you without a mic?
We're back.
Boy, I tell you, this webisode number what?
17.
Okay, you're on top of it. Webisode number 17, y'all. Today we're going to be talking about profiting off of punishments. Profiting off of punishments. And slavery still exists. It's going to be a really interesting two-part series tonight. It's just going to be me and Charity. And then next week, we will have a couple special guests on who can speak so much more stronger to this topic than we can. And so we'll do what we can do starting tonight. And then next week, we'll have the experts in. So Stay tuned. Let's get it.
All right, yeah, there we go. Now I can see. Y'all ready to get lit? Live from Jacksonville, Florida. Vodcasting around the world.
You heard me right. That's vodcasting with a V.
We want to welcome you to the LiT TV show, where we love, learn, and leverage information together. Because what we don't know can literally take us back to the Stone Ages. Are y'all ready to get litty? Welcome your host, E.
Mama, there goes that man.
C.
The boy's smart, but he crazy.
Weston. This is the LiT TV show with E.C. Weston. Stay lit, my friends.
Charity Bell.
Yes, dear.
We live.
Alive. We're lit.
We lit. Not live, we lit. What's going on, family? You got to come up a little bit. You good?
Good.
Is your mic up high enough?
Yeah, I think they can hear me.
Hey, Quintez Nelson, say, let's go. What's going on, family? Let's go. Tonight we're talking about, I'm trying to do two things at the same time, but we're talking about punishments. We're talking about profiting off of punishments. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be eye-opening. We believe that when it comes to being lit, leveraging information together, loving information together, learning information together, and what we don't know can take us back literally to the Stone Ages. And so we really believe that what we learn and what we know better suits us to be able to deal with today and tomorrow, and also better helps us understand yesterday. And so we try to make sure that on the LiT TV show that we leave not only inspired, not only that we had some fun, but that we are informed at the exact same time. I'm trying to let people know on Facebook so we can get these numbers up that we are live, family. So y'all like, share. If you're on Facebook, like, share.
How y'all
if you're
doing
on
today?
YouTube, let us know who you are and where you're rocking out with us from around the country. What you say, Charity?
How y'all doing today?
That's a good one. How y'all doing? Talk to me. What's going on? How y'all doing? What's up, Tess? How the family, man? How's everybody doing in Fort Pierce? Fort Walton Beach.
Fort Walton.
Fort Walton Beach. I messed it up. Let's pay some bills real quick while they're doing that, Charity.
All right.
Let me stop this music. Give a shout out to our sponsor, iShop Black.
Business owners, is your business signed up to iShopBlack.com? This is the hottest spot for Black-owned businesses and professionals. Get discovered by consumers and make more money. It's just that simple. Visit iShopBlack.com and get signed up today.
iShopBlack.com.
So thank you to iShopBlack.com. Shout out to them for always rocking out with the LiT TV show. This is
good stuff.
Yeah, this is literally weeks after weeks after weeks. And so we're pushing everybody to go and sign up. Even if you're not a business owner, go sign up to iShop Black. Let me tell you why. Because when you get ready to do some shopping, you want to shop with Black vendors, Black business owners, Black entrepreneurs. Sometimes it's hard to find out who they are and where they are.
Right.
iShop Black makes it easy.
Very easy.
Yeah?
Just like Yellow Pages.
It is just like Yellow Pages.
Like Black Pages.
Well, Black Pages is actually a company.
Oh, that's a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, it's called the Black Pages. It's a magazine.
Oh, okay.
It's a book. But this is like on your smartphone.
Right.
And you put in literally the zip code of where you are and what you're looking for, and it'll pull up the black businesses with that
Right
particular
there.
vertical.
Orthodontists.
Yeah.
Chiropractors.
Stylists.
Everything.
You name it.
Try it out.
Lottie
Check it out.
Dottie. Everybody. Try
When
it
you
out.
get off tonight, just go iShopBlack.com and see what you come up with.
I also want to give a shout out to luxuryvacations.com.
Our favorite people in the land.
Did I send you? I was supposed to send you something today from them. Did you get it?
No.
I may have saved
Send me
it to
what?
send it. So the cabin for Christmas,
We're going to do it.
Tennessee,
Yeah.
6 days, 5 nights.
I know.
Oh, you saw it? That's what I'm saying.
Is that the same one? You sent
No.
that to me?
I sent you. They had a resort, right?
Oh,
You said it was a
yeah,
resort.
but I wanted to
This
do the cabin.
is a 4-bedroom cabin
Ooh.
in the mountains, in Crossville,
Oh.
Tennessee.
You didn't send me that.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna have to shoot that over to you because
Write it.
yeah, Gatlinburg. No, not in Gatlinburg. It's in Crossville, which I don't know how Crossville is. How far that is from Gatlinburg. Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, all that's Cointez, right in the same little area. Not sure how far Crossville is from it, but this is in Crossville. It's probably right there in the same area, huh? You're pulling it up?
No.
Yeah, we're not sure, but either way,
We're going.
we might go ahead and make that happen. So shout out to luxuryvacations.com.
We're making that happen.
Luxury Vacation, BAECATION.com. If you are not a member of luxuryvacations.com, you need to be a member. And let me tell you how you become a member. It's free.
Mm-hmm.
First off, if you're on Facebook, so all of my people who are rocking out with us on Facebook, would y'all say something? Because I don't see no chats coming up Facebook. All I'm seeing is YouTube. So if you're on Facebook,
It was like last time.
yeah,
It's
so if
kinda
you're on
weird.
Facebook, say something so we know that you're tuned in with us on Facebook.
But then also, if they're sharing it, then they
Then they won't be able to say something. All right. So listen, how do you join luxuryvacations.com? First thing is you can go to their Facebook group.
They drop things
Deals
all
every
the
day.
time.
Literally every single
It's
day.
like check in an hour.
Yeah. I saw Crab Island.
I did too.
Oh, you saw that one?
Yep, across from Crab Island.
Literally
It's like
the Emerald Grand.
Oh,
yes.
that was the Emerald
Right
Grand?
there where the jet
Oh.
skis and all that was at.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like you don't get no closer to Crab
No.
Island than that.
you can't beat it.
4 days, 3 nights
Mm-hmm.
over there, the 21st through the 25th or something like
But
that.
on their Facebook page, you find deals like this all the time.
day long.
And if it's something that you don't see on their Facebook page, just shoot them a message on Facebook Messenger,
Yep.
and they'll get you a quote right back to you.
They give you quotes right there in your messenger for what it is that you want. And it don't have to be domestic.
Right.
International travel too. And so I'm always pushing luxury vacations because I believe their motto is experiences over things. And
which
I
is
believe
huge.
that as a family, you got to get out, man. Go
Got
do things,
to.
go create memories.
Gotta live.
They stay with you forever.
Mm-hmm.
When our loved ones pass, it's the memories that we hold on to and the experiences that we hold on to that allows them to live on in our lives, even though they've transitioned. And so luxuryvacations.com is the website. Luxury Vacations is the group on Facebook. And I think they have Instagram too, if I'm not mistaken.
Not
But
sure.
at any rate,
Can't
go
confirm or deny that
rock
one.
out with luxuryvacations.com.
Yes, please do.
So
Good stuff.
how you been?
It's been a long day. Been a long day today. You know,
Long?
my COVID, the COVID break is over. Y'all remember when we had that little time period
Yeah,
where
nothing
they
to do.
said stop the world, just
Yeah.
stop everything, stop going to school, stop working, just chill.
Them days gone.
Gone.
So you back on the grind.
back on the grind. It's a good thing though. It's good.
So you didn't. So here's what she's saying, y'all. She didn't get to take her nap today before the show. Really, let me just be real with y'all. All she's trying to say is she didn't get a chance to get her nap.
I didn't. You see this face? This is I didn't get a chance to take my nap face. Okay.
It looked the same to me.
Look a little groggy to me.
Yeah, she didn't get her nap. So the grind is real, y'all. I want y'all to know the grind is real. You got some news for us today? You don't have much news?
No.
Okay, it's all good. I
No.
mean, it's all good.
It's something out there y'all want to talk about in the news?
Yeah, she doesn't.
Anything?
She doesn't have a
Put it on
news
y'all.
today, but I'll tell
Yeah.
you this: I'll tell you some news. Here's
What?
some news. This is some Weston news. My Lakers are going to beat the Rockets again tonight. That is news. That is big time news. Let's go Lake Show. That was a wrap. Let's go Lake Show.
I guess.
Yeah. And then we're going to meet LA Clippers and beat them too. And we're going to play Miami. Y'all heard it from here first. I'm not a prophet, but I'm something like one. I guess I don't know if I want to go on record saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Lakers going to beat them. And then they're going to beat the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. And then they're going to go on to play Miami. So it's going to be Miami and the Lakers in the finals. Y'all hearing it from me now. It's September the 10th. Look how early this is. September the 10th. I'm already going on record saying the Lakers, along with Miami, is going to be in the finals. And the Lakers going to win it all.
We'll see.
Turn up Mamba for life.
Mamba.
Yeah.
Oh, that new game came out.
What game?
You know, I don't do video games, anything like that, or sports. But the NBA, the new NBA game, the Kobe version.
Oh, NBA 2K?
Yeah, that version came out. Came out, and I forget some of the other features. I just heard about it. One of my kids was talking about it. Came out.
I don't play it. I don't play them either. But NBA 2K is a well-known game. So Kobe's on the cover, is what you're saying. Is Kobe on the cover of the NBA 2K, the new NBA 2K?
Let's see.
Yeah, pull it up. Okay, there it is. 2K21.
That's not what I'm looking for.
Shout out to my mom. What's going on, Mom Dukes? Shout out to my auntie. What's going on, auntie? They both are rocking out with us on tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just know they were saying something about Kobe being featured.
On the cover.
Yeah, it's the Mamba Forever edition. That's
Tracy Akers is tuned in to
Tracy,
Facebook.
oh, the Rockets will be in the playoffs.
Okay, Tracy, this is where you and I begin to end our relationship. This is where things go south between you and I, Tracy.
Oh my!
I had nothing but love for you too, and now it's just going bad. It's going bad from here. The Rockets will not be in the playoffs. The Rockets will lose in the next 2 rounds.
Those are fighting
and they'll
words.
be done, Tracy. Unfortunately, they will be done.
Fighting
Sorry.
words.
Is Tracy from Houston or something?
Tracy is from Houston.
Oh, so, okay, Tracy. All right, I get it. So you're not even, okay. All right. So, yeah, all right. So I see where you're coming from. The Rockets, okay, Rockets, go Houston. I get it. All
yeah,
right.
Hometown.
I knew it had to be something.
Home state.
Like, who likes the Rockets?
Tracy, don't
Who does
let
that?
him. Don't let him do you like
nobody
that.
likes the Rockets unless you're from there. So I get it. Look at it. James Harden. So family, if you have young men, young women, you may want to have them tune in. Tonight's going to be part of a 2-part series, possibly 3-part series. And we're going to deal with some things that I think will be really, really good for you. If you're a single parent, even if you're not, and you have young people, in today's climate, it's probably good that they may be educated on the things that we're going to talk about tonight. Let me tell y'all this. One of the things that I believe, and let me know if that music's too loud too, y'all. One of the things that I believe is that we perish because of a lack of knowledge. When we're not educated, it's easy to make mistakes. It's easy to be taken advantage of. It's easy. Ignorance is expensive. It can cost you for what you don't know. And so
Gonna learn today.
you're going to learn today. And so we're talking about profiting off of punishment.
What do you mean?
So tonight, I do want to go back. Let's just go all the way back. Okay, let's go all the way back to.
Are we going deep?
We're
or
going.
Are we just
we're
going
going
back,
back
or
and
going
deep.
back and deep.
We're going back and deep. All right.
Don't go too deep.
Okay, I'm not gonna go too deep. But here's and y'all got to chime in tonight because I really want to play off of your thoughts and I want to open up the line via the chats for you guys to kind of chime in from a thought. It's like a think tank tonight. We got to go all the way back to the beginning of slavery.
Or
In
the
order
end.
to, well, slavery never ended. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. We got to go all the way back to slavery. Now, first, Charity, in your own opinion, what do you think slavery is?
Free labor.
Cheap labor or free labor?
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, slavery is nothing more than a vehicle for economics, right? Whenever you understand that slavery only exists based on classism, right? So what has to the introduction of slavery is almost that of a hunter-gatherer concept, where the hunter is deemed in a higher esteem than the gatherer, and therefore you begin to have a class of people. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And so when you look at slavery, it is only based on somebody having more than the other and oppressing those who do not have. And slavery was never created as a result of race. It was created first as a result of class.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely, because slavery is not just a black thing.
It's not just a black thing, as we're going to find out tonight. And so when we go back and look at the rubric, or the origin, I should say, or the foundation, the core of servitude, involuntary servitude, or slavery, it really transpired from one nation conquering another, one king conquering another, and then taking those people captive, right? And taking them into servitude or slavery. So it has always been about economics. The captured country, colony, whatever you want to say, they are the people who were become the working class for that particular king or kingdom or what have you. Peasants, the workers, the less than, the outcasts, the downtrodden, the oppressed. And so whenever you have a group of people who looks to overthrow or overpower another group of people, then you have the institution of servitude or slavery.
Makes sense.
Now, all of that is based on economics. Because if you own any company today, any business owner, any corporation will tell you that the greatest expense to any company is labor. The biggest cost to any business is labor. Some 70, 80% of a business hard cost, believe it or not, is labor cost.
Oh, yeah.
And because people are driven by money, cheap labor is appealing.
Even in corporate, they're not going to pay you
They're
what
not
you're
going to pay
worth.
you what, come on, girl, you messing with me.
Not going to pay you what you're worth.
And so I'm building a case because I want to talk about profiting off of punishment, which is really where we're going. But I want to build a case from the vantage point of what exactly is involuntary servitude or slavery. Every culture, every race, every class of people have been captured into involuntary servitude. It goes all the way back to Mesopotamia. I mean, it goes back to the earliest of civilizations.
Yeah.
So it's nothing new. And in every dispensation of generations of people, it existed. As I say that to say this, because it has existed in every faction of life since the beginning of life, don't you dare think that it does not exist today.
Good point.
It has in every generation in the past.
Good point.
Is that good?
Oh, yeah. It's real good.
So it still exists today. It has just been
Packaged differently.
That's good. No, that was good for you. It's definitely been packaged.
Packaged differently.
Differently. Now, get this.
Wait.
Go.
Hey. So, when we say that slavery exists today,
Yeah.
do any of you know exactly why we say that. You think we're just pulling that out of the air, making something up, just want something to talk about tonight. But if you take a look at the 13th Amendment,
It is the 13th Amendment.
it states, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Now, wait, let me read that statement
Read that one more
again.
time.
I'm going to read it without the clause in there.
Okay.
Let's just say the clause is eliminated from the middle of the statement. It would then read, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction.
Now
that would have been
the
the
abolishment
end of slavery.
Girl, you are good. That
be
was
quiet.
good. Hold on. Now you got to read that one more time. So the clause that's in there says that it still exists. Because if it did not still exist, it would read without the clause.
Without the
so read it without the
clause.
clause again.
Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction.
That would be the abolishment of slavery.
But
we have a clause.
there's a clause.
What
and
does the
it
clause
says,
say? Yeah.
Except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted.
So slavery is still here.
Still here.
According to the Constitution and according to today's law.
Don't shoot the messenger. I just delivered
No,
it.
that's good, Charity. Now get this. So when we go back to the foundations and the early origins of slavery, remember a conquering king would then take over a conquered colony or citizens, a group of people, and then they would become servants,
Right.
or enslaved. Or here's another word, prisoners. Prisoners. When a country took over another country, a king took over another king, they would take the people in as prisoners. So slavery is the same term as prisoner. It has just been repackaged.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus asked first why you say that. Then Marcus said, that's good. I agree. Maurice, jail, generational wealth, education. That's exactly right. And that's what we're going to be talking about. But we're going to talk about it in a very deep way. And the exciting thing is next week, we're going to be having people on the show who can talk firsthand.
Yes.
We can only deal with it from a 30,000 foot view.
Bird's
People
eye.
who will be on the show next week will talk about it literally because they lived it, and some of them lived it close to 20 years. And so we're excited about the individuals that will be on the show with us on Thursday, but we're going to lay the foundation tonight and we're going to build on it next week. And so, Charity.
Yep.
So when we use the term slave, we can translate that word into prisoner.
I would say, yeah.
Or, watch this, or when we use the word plantation, we can translate that into prison. Same exact thing.
It's almost like the thing we used to do in school, night is today as
That's good. And you got to figure out what it is, the
slave
correlation.
is to
Prisoner.
as
Plantation.
plantation is to
What? Prison. And so, so here's the reason why we have to look at crime differently.
right.
We can't look at crime the way that we've been taught to look at crime. I'm gonna go deep because you said don't go too deep, so I'm gonna go a little deep. Crime or criminal is the same word as, we're talking about like unto,
Okay.
is the same word as terrorist. This is gonna get good. Criminal and terrorist has been translated to be the same word. So the same way we get you to fear an outward force. We get you to fear a domestic force, and it's called a criminal. It's the exact same thing. So when we see somebody who we think commit a crime, we feel that they need to be punished. When in actuality, punishment is profitable. And if punishment is profitable, the way I get more profitability is I need more prisoners.
Which in turn means I need to punish more.
I need to come up with more crimes. They don't commit more crimes. I need to come up with more crimes that they may commit. Or we can say that they have committed.
Right.
And so when we talk about history and the war on drugs, that was actually a war on crime. Not a war on drugs internationally like we were told. We were told that drugs were coming into the country in vast numbers from Colombia, Cuba, all these different countries, Mexico, so on and so forth. Come on, Marcus, it's a setup. But in actuality, it was a war on people to feel mass incarceration, to feel the prison system so that profitability could happen. Now, here's what I've discovered in talking to our panelists and our guests who will be on next week. This blew my mind. So this one particular individual who will be on next week, the charge, not what he's guilty for, the charge against him was a $460 or $80 federal crime. Federal, 480, the official charge on record, on his record.
I know. I'm trying to wonder.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
I'll
Keep
tell you
going.
later.
All right,
Letting the people
right.
know who the guest's gonna be in advance. And so watch this. $480 something. He told me, blew my mind. He said my crime was $480 something. The amount of money that it took for me to be in prison for 9 months was $36,000, $38,000. So the government paid $38,000 to house him for a $400 crime. Why would they do that? And I told him, I said, first off, the $38,000 was paid by the taxpayer. That's number one, because we pay taxpayer dollars for every prisoner. So it didn't cost them anything. We paid it. Number two, the $400 crime profited them how much in 9 months of free labor?
Right.
I think he said they were paid $1 a day for the work that they did. And
Cecilia, that's right. That's practically free.
Come on. That is cheap labor, free labor. Cecilia Jefferson, that's exactly right. Marcus Jeffries, Deuteronomy 15, 13 through 14. Come on, my brother. Needed a worker. Listen, Baal said at 100,000. It is a setup all the way around. Watch this. The crime that's committed, watch this, the crime that is committed is not an actual crime. You got to look up conspiracy. You looked up what Deuteronomy is? What is Deuteronomy? You got that? 15, 13, and 14.
Yeah, that's the
we're going to read it
version.
since you brought it
13
up.
and 14.
13 and 14, yeah.
And when you release them, am I in the right one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you release them, do not send them away empty-handed. Oh, they talking about the... If any of your people, Hebrew men or women, sell themselves to you and serve you 6 years, in the 7th year you must let them go free. And when you release them, do not send them away empty-handed. Supply them liberally from your flock, your threshing floor, and your winepress. Give to them as the Lord your God has blessed you.
So God always talked about the release of the servant, release of the slave, and the blessing of the servant or the slave. And this servitude is about somebody who owed a debt, right? So it's still all about money, but the person owed a debt, and because they...
That's loud.
Let me turn that down. Hey, Matthew, your trainer is probably on the way. Give Brad a call. And so watch this. So when it came to a debt that needed to be paid, because it's always the class of people, right? It's always the poor who can't pay it back. So it's like credit card debt, right? The further you get into debt, the harder it is to get out. So what they do is they say, okay, I'm gonna work it off, and they never can work it off. So they become servants for long periods of time. So God said, listen, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put an end to servitude, which means you can't keep them past 7 years. No wonder that stuff on your credit can't stay past 7 years. Any debt that's owed 7 years has to be released and freed from the debt.
So doesn't it sound like prison sentences shouldn't be no more than 7?
Come on, man. But then that's why we talked on Sunday about the separation of state and government, or state and religion, right? Because they took God out of it. Right? So, and you got to read that for me. So watch this. So 7 years prison sentences should have been released. But watch this. Because the person was poor and you're working to pay, you're not getting paid, you're working to pay off a debt, so you're not making any money. Right? You could be working forever to pay off a debt. So God instituted a way for release. And then they're supposed to be blessed when let go. So watch this. So in actuality, God instituted what's called rehabilitation and restitution. Look at that. Our prison system has no rehabilitation, zero rehabilitation. They're not concerned about rehabilitation in any capacity because rehabilitation don't make the prison system money. You being released is not profitable. So we rather hold you, detain you, keep you, make as much money as we can, not rehabilitate you, let you go so that when you get out into society, you can't function. You can't survive. You have no skill. Nobody want to hire you. Do you know that the same companies, and we're going to deal with this next week. I'm not going to tell you the companies, but every major company, believe it or not, uses the prison system for cheap labor. But I'm not going to go there. So watch this. The same companies that won't hire you when you get out as a prisoner are the same companies you work for when you were in prison. How? So you get out of prison. You can't go get a job. You
it's
can't.
Somebody else said that earlier.
And then next thing you know, you come back to the plantation
now
and work.
Watch this.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me sharing.
Come on.
I married a felon.
Talk to him.
I married a felon off of when you were, 16
yep.
years old. Working, you tell the story. You tell it better than me, but I wanted to.
So 16 years old, had a job that had a position that my character wasn't ready for. Really shouldn't have had the job. Always been blessed and favored. No. That's why I went to cash the check.
Oh, that's right.
Now, I was working for First Union. Some of y'all remember First Union, the bank back in the days. First Union, and I was working in Central Recovery. I wasn't working in the bank at a tailor or none of that. I was working in Central Recovery dealing with litigation, bankruptcy, and repossession at 17 years old. Like, you didn't even get that job during those times. I was making, check this out, $6.50 an hour. Woo. Come on here. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Minimum wage was $4. I'm making $6.50.
It was $4?
$4. I was making $6.50. And too young and dumb to understand the favor that God had on my life. So I would, instead of going to work, I'd be up there working with the band and teaching the drum line and showing up late to work. I never forget it. Them people fired me. Marcus talking about, I knew Wes was a thug. Don't you start, boy. God is in the miracle working business. Edith Hodges, what's going on?
Tell the story now.
Danny, so get this. So I got fired. When the week that I got fired, I had only worked 1 hour on the job for that pay period. The day that they fired me, I had an hour left on that pay period. So I got my last check. Don't be laughing at me.
Sorry, it's funny.
Got my last check. My last check was $6.50. And I was happy because I needed some gas in my little jalopy. And that $6.50 in gas went a long way back then. So I was broke. So my check came in the mail. I went to Winn-Dixie. Back then, y'all, Winn-Dixie and the grocery stores cashed your check.
They still do.
Yeah, but that was like the place you went if you didn't have a bank. You went to Winn-Dixie or what have you. And back then, the manager had to sign off on all checks, not a certain dollar amount. The manager signed off on all checks in order for them to cash your check. So I'm standing in line, y'all, $6.50 check. I'm really nervous and embarrassed because who cashes a $6.50 check? Even though that was a lot, be quiet. Even though that was a lot of money for that 1 hour, but that wasn't a lot of money for a check. So I'm standing there with Dixie, and I'm sitting there saying, man, these people gonna clown me. And this little girl at the register, you know, I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm gonna turn my head when I get up there to sign this check, and Lord, don't let this lady say nothing to me. So I get up to the front, and I sign the back of the check. I give it to her, and the lady calls the manager over, and she looks at me and starts laughing. She said, I bet you ain't think I had enough money to cash this. And I'm thinking to myself, like, no,
She
this
messing
chick
with
didn't. I'm like, no, this chick didn't. Here it is. I'm trying to get this little $6, put some gas in my little car. So long story short, she gets the manager signs off. She starts counting out all this money. I'm 16. Start counting 17. Start counting all this money out. Right? Thinking to myself, like, okay, she clowning. So she looks back at the check. God is my witness. She looks back at the check. She say, oh, I almost gave you too much money. I ain't thinking nothing because this is a $6.50 check. The lady started counting $50 of the dollars back and gave me $600.50. A $6.50 check. She was finna give me $650. She counted 50 back and got 50 cents and gave me $600.50. Y'all, what y'all think I did at 17 years old? I walked right on up out that door, went and put gas in the car and went straight to the mall. I was so happy. And I didn't know the Lord like I know the Lord now, because had I known the Lord like I know the Lord now, I would have gave that lady that money back and said, hey, you know what, ma'am, you counted too much out, wrong, da-da-da-da-da. In my little teenage mind, she made the mistake. Right. I ain't robbed them. I ain't asked for the money. I walked right on out.
But that ended up resulting, long story short, in a felony being on his record.
Because it was $500. Anything over $500 was grand theft. And they tried to come back and say that I knew the girl and she got fired and da-da-da. I didn't know the lady at all.
But watch this. With that was that a crime? Was that like how we say, was that a crime?
Right.
Okay. Now look at the long-term effects. Felony still on the record to this day.
Matter of fact, I went to court, and when I went to court, the judge said, you ain't never been in no trouble. And I was getting ready to go into the army. I was getting ready to go into the military. He said, you ain't never been in no trouble. He said, keep your nose clean, go and serve the country, and we going to adjudication withheld. We're going to, wipe your record. You won't count against you because you ain't never been in no trouble. Just don't get in no more trouble. So I thought that for years, and for years it wasn't nothing on my record.
So you go try and get a job.
Well, I had several jobs. I worked for banks. I worked for American Express.
I think the first time it came up with us, you were trying to coach at the YMCA.
No, that wasn't the first time. That wasn't the first time, but it did come up then. Yeah.
Made me mad. I'm just like, something so minuscule, something so irrelevant.
We're talking about 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
You mean to tell me
30 plus years ago.
He got to go get 2 letters of recommendation, based off of his character because of something that happened. And it just like it. So, and I said all of that to say this. He could have been the one, to say, oh, I can't get a job. I can't do this. I can't do that. All I can do is go to the streets and sell drugs. And there the process keeps going, because there are a lot of people out there like that with the felonies on the record and just can't get right,
and it's tough. I mean, it ain't easy. Right. It's tough. Now, luckily, I wasn't in that position, and I was going into the military anyway. I had already signed into the military, so boom, I was gone before anything. And it wasn't like, I was out there just getting in trouble. I was out there getting in trouble, but not getting in trouble like that. And so it just ended up being a blessing for me. I live it daily. 19 years for me, Danny. Come on, man. 19 years. I trust me. I understand exactly where you are. And here's the thing, though, y'all. Regardless of what is done, if a person's done it, if they're guilty of it, none of that matters, because here's what we understand. We understand that there's a lot of money to be made in the prison system. Now, let's talk this. Why did they start to privatize? Do you know that there's the privatization of healthcare, right? Why did they privatize healthcare? Because there's a lot of money to be made in healthcare, right? Then they started to privatize the prison system. Why? Why would you privatize?
Explain that. What do you mean by privatize?
So corporations own prisons, not the government. Corporations, major corporations own prisons. What corporation you know that is not in the business of making money? That's why they are a company.
That's what for profit.
For profit.
It ain't like they non-profit.
It's all about money. So watch this.
501c3.
So a corporation owns a prison, and watch this. The state is going to pay the prison a certain amount of money per head, which the
Taxpayer
taxpayers
dollars.
paying. And then watch this. The prison is going to have contracts with other companies for profitability. So watch this. The prisoner comes in the door. The prisoner comes in the door, y'all, many times with charges that are trumped up. Also that he might be stuck in a system to generate profit for a company that he doesn't even know. We're going to find out who the companies are next week, right? So we all pay for each prisoner so much amount of money per day, per bed. The prison system needs to have an occupancy rate of 90% or better in order for the state
to profit.
to pay. Well, the profitability comes from both sides. So the taxpayers paying for the prisoner to be there, and then the companies profiting off of the prisoner's work with the contracts that they've established. And the prisoners being paid $1 a day, sometimes less, 19 cents. How you work 8 hours, 10 hours,
Don't
and
even
get paid
count it.
$1?
Don't even count it. Can't even buy nothing at the store.
No health care, right? He's punished if he don't work. Look at slavery. If he don't work, he's punished.
Yep.
He has to work. And I'm not talking about making license plates. That's old school, y'all. If y'all still thinking prisoners are only making license plates, y'all confused. Man, some of your clothes you got on was made in prison. It definitely was cleaned in prison. Some of the biggest contracts around the country are prisoners working them. My God, Quintez Nelson. It's or get charged bail, he can't pay. No. Let's go deeper on that, Maurice. So what happens is, watch this. He goes in, so all of your laws, right? So these corporations are lobbyists.
Hodge say they ain't paid nothing in Georgia prison.
Nothing? Who said that?
Hodge,
They don't pay nothing in Georgia prisons?
that's what he typed.
Golly, Hodge. Zero. So watch this. So he commits a crime, supposedly, right? So he goes before a system that is structured to make him do time. So what they say is, okay, we're gonna make laws that allow us to give you the max amount of time, which is really what we want, because you're gonna serve it, right? You're gonna be in there, it's gonna be profitable for us. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you a prosecutor, not a prosecutor, but appointed. Yeah, what I'm trying to say, y'all.
Appointed attorney.
Yeah. But there's a name for it. State attorney. There's a name for it for a defendant's attorney that's appointed to you. So you get this guy because you can't afford a lawyer, right? The people who don't serve much time are the people who got money to pay for a lawyer. Public defender. That's what I was trying to get. Thank you. Public defender.
Danny.
And so, thank you, Danny. So you're given a public defender who works for the state. And the public defender says, hey, you know what? Don't challenge this. Don't go to court over this. Take this reduced sentence. And we're not capable of fighting anything, or we're not knowledgeable of fighting anything, or we don't have the money to pay for an attorney to fight anything. So we don't want to go to jail for the max. So we take the reduced sentence. And that all works in favor of us going to prison camp or slavery. And then when we get there, watch this, we got to be on our best behavior, which the environment is not conducive to best behavior, in order to not have time added to our sentence, which makes us work even longer, which makes us even more profitable.
Maurice say take the deal.
Maurice, that's what, take the deal. First strike. So watch this. So that three strike law they came out with, you know what that was designed for? Prison population, mass incarceration. to keep us making money for corporations within the slave system called prison. So slavery was never abolished. It is still live today. And let me tell you what slavery is. Slavery is not just involuntary servitude for work. It is also, check this out, it is also sex trafficking. That's slavery still to this day.
Oh, yeah.
Human trafficking is the same thing. It's the same thing. When you take a person against their will, not kidnapping, but you're going to keep them, that's slavery. Still happens to this day. Charity married me voluntarily. Do you know that in this world right now, you say what?
He made me.
Whatever. Loose, be loosed. Be loose, Dave. Be free, girl. Watch this. Do you know today there are still women who are forced into marriage? That's slavery. We think slavery has been abolished. It's never been abolished. It's just been transposed. Transpositioned, placed in a different place. So blacks and minorities, Maurice, you're exactly right. Blacks and minorities make up overwhelmingly 80% of the population in prisons.
And that's just, and I guess we're just thinking about the states, but you got to think all over. Like I was reading an article just now, though.
All over the world.
Yeah. Prisons in Peru, prisons in Kenya, prisons everywhere. You know, this is happening. Not just here.
And it's because Maurice just said it, and I saw what you said, Marcus. She told me, I believe you, Charity. You believe she was forced into marriage, Marcus? Really? So watch this. We've been brainwashed, is what Maurice said. Maurice, we've been brainwashed to think that the people who are in jail are criminals. The people who are in prison are criminals. That is not. Do you know that if the prison system was about rehabilitation and restitution, then the prison system population would get smaller.
Anybody believe that on here? I mean, that's what they tell us. Do y'all buy that? That's for restitution and
rehabilitation? Who believes that the prison system is about rehabilitation and restitution? I can tell you this, it's definitely not about restitution, because even when people have served their time, we still want to hold it over their head as if they didn't pay it back. They pay it back in time. That's what prison's supposed to be. So when a person served their time, they paid their debt. But yet we don't treat them as citizens when they get out. That's still slavery. Maurice say preach. And then I know it ain't no rehabilitation. There's definitely no rehabilitation. What do y'all think? Nobody would go back, so clearly it's not. That's exactly right, Danny. That's exactly right, Danny. Nobody would go back if there was rehabilitation. But they're not concerned about you being a citizen again. They're concerned about profitability. That's why I said this, and I say it again, the love of money is the root of all evil. You can trace any evil back to a love of economics, love of money. You can trace any evil. I don't care how evil it is. You can go back to the love of money. And when you start looking at classism and social economics when it comes to classes, that you can trace every slave trade back to that. The African slave trade, you can trace back to that. The Arabic slave trade, you can trace back. It doesn't matter. China slave trade, you can, the European slave trade, you can trace them all back to classism and economics. Money, cheap labor. So we'll go on TV and we'll fight against sweatshops in Malaysia, but we won't fight for prison reform. And when I say reform, I'm not talking about making the prison system better, but I'm talking about making the prison system what it's designed to do, which is rehabilitate citizens and restitution only. Right. That's reform.
Right.
But as long as it's ran by private corporations.
Restitution.
Huh?
Payment of restitution.
Restitution and rehabilitation. But as long as it's ran by corporations and lobbyists, right, who have money at the forefront of their thought and not people, we will continue to be slaves. And all of us, get this, all of us are subject to the slave yard if you don't have no money. It's about economics. It's about economics. That's why people with money don't go to jail. You think you're looking for a justice system to be fair. No, a justice system will never be fair. Why? Because you got evil men who run it. You can change all the laws you want. It doesn't matter what law you change. It is evil men who are making the decisions.
Now, watch this.
Yep.
You got deceased now, Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
You remember that first time he got caught back in
96 or something like that.
Something, was it 2008? Something like
2006
that.
or 2008.
Whenever he was first caught. I mean, crazy documentation, crazy evidence, obvious evidence.
Yeah.
So many testimonies from hundreds of people. Did he go to jail?
Didn't go to jail.
He went to, what was it? We watched the documentary. He went to like this day thing. Something he went to during the day.
Yeah, he went to
leave.
He went to jail, but he went to like day jail. Like
he got to leave.
He had to check in every night by midnight, but he got to do whatever he wanted to do during the day.
Like what?
Yeah. But why? Because he had money.
money.
It's always about the dollar. And as long as
white collar.
Come on here. As long as our people are ignorant to that, we'll go out and commit crimes. That's the reason why I wanted this show to
and not just necessarily our people, just people.
Well,
period.
I mean people. Period. But let's not be cognizant. Let's not be not cognizant of the fact that black and brown minorities are targeted more so than any other culture. The war on drugs. You're going after the marijuana smoker that's black, but then the opiate epidemic, you're talking about help. You're coming up with programs to help the opiate epidemic because that affects a different class or different race of people. And so it is not just us, but we are definitely overwhelmingly statistically proven that the jails are filled with us worldwide. That ain't by happenstance or chance. That ain't because we commit more crime. We don't. We do not statistically commit more crime. You can't prove that. And so, but yet we are disproportionately incarcerated. Why? Because slavery still exists. And the institution of prison was designed for that very reason. So we can't legally take a black person or brown person or minority and then keep them against their will. Because the Constitution, the Second Amendment of the 13th Amendment, the second section of the 13th Amendment says that we cannot do that. So what we have to do is use crime as the catalyst to get them into the pipeline of slavery. That's Bible. Come on, Marcus. Worked during the day, was housed at night. Maurice, Quintez, you better preach, preacher. Thank you, sir. Also used to steal our ability to vote. Come on, Clinton gave the deal. Shireen, facts. Listen, that is, so you mentioned voting. Now, I've served my time, which was my punishment for my crime. I have done what's called restitution. So why am I not giving back my rights? Let me ask you this. Were the slaves of old allowed to vote? They didn't have those rights. Were they allowed health care? They didn't have those rights. They were treated less than humane. The slaves of old. I'm not talking about black. I'm talking about go all the way back in time. Go back to Mesopotamia. Go all the way back in history. And you will find out that anytime a country took over another country or a kingdom took over another kingdom, those people had no rights. They were the working class for that particular king. Pharaoh used the Hebrew children as slaves to build Egypt. They didn't have rights. When it came time to vote on decisions for Egypt, the Hebrews didn't have no voice. They didn't get to cast their ballots and choose with the rest of the citizens. No, they were treated less than. And the same thing that took place way back over 3500 BC, The same thing that took place way back then is the same thing that takes place today. It has just been put in prison yards. What you about to say?
Nothing. I'm listening.
Yeah. Truth. Edith says truth. Maurice, you are black 1/8. That's right. Sean Michael, what's going on, Sean? Good to see you rocking with us on tonight, bro. So we're just setting the platform for next week. Next week is going to be amazing because
especially
we can
with
talk,
the guests.
Yeah, the guests will be able to talk firsthand about their experiences, how they're treated. There's a. I mean, you ever seen the movie Life
Oh yeah,
with
Martin and Eddie.
Martin, Eddie Murphy, quite a few of them.
Yes,
Bernie
a few
Mac
of
was
them.
in there.
Bernie.
Right? Quite a few. That was a real good depiction of the slave camp. Right?
Yeah.
You, what do you call them, boss? Right? It was literally what the prisons look like today. And you notice how the transition, the end of the movie ends with all of them dying in prison. Like they all just kind of faded away. The end of the movie. You remember that?
Didn't they get out?
No.
They did get out.
No. Did y'all watch Life? Did they get out of prison or did they just fade away dying in prison?
Oh, Martin and
Come on, y'all. Talk
got
to
out.
me.
can't remember.
Talk to me. Designed for a lifetime of profitability. And as long as we don't understand economics, as long as we don't understand what crime and what prison's really about, we'll go out here and commit these little petty crimes, man.
They
and
got out.
They got out. Jason,
Thank
who
you,
got
bro.
out? Who got out, Jason?
Thank you.
Y'all better go
Facts.
watch that movie again. Y'all might want to go watch that one more time. Life. I don't think they got out. They did Life. That's why it's called Life. It's called Life for a reason.
They were really, really old.
They were really old, yeah, and they faded away. I'm gonna go back and watch it, Jason. You just don't remember. So Martin and Eddie got out? No,
Yep.
they faked their death and escaped. Oh,
Thank you, my
Hodge. Okay.
Validating.
Okay, Hodge. So they didn't get out. They escaped. Same thing I'm saying.
Claude and Ray.
Same thing I'm saying. Claude and Ray escaped. They didn't get out. Life. It's called Life for a reason. So get this, y'all. We're getting ready to wrap it up. We got to educate our young men, our young women.
And ourselves, because we tend to, we've been taught things a certain way that we think is factual, and we look at people certain ways because of what the system says we should look. But should we really?
No, that's good. That's good because we quick to pass judgment, man.
Mm-hmm.
And 90, I would say 90% of the people who are in prison don't deserve to be there.
Right, and some do. Now we're not saying that all of them don't deserve to be there.
But even the ones
there
that
are some
do,
heinous crimes.
there are some heinous crimes. But even the ones that do deserve to be there, there still should be rehabilitation for them, right?
Oh yeah.
There still should be some sense of them being treated as humans. Like these prisons are inhumane. They really are. And there's a term called PIC, Prison Industrial Complex. This term has found its way across the world. You said it earlier. You can go to prisons in other countries and it's black and brown and minorities that make up the population of those prisons. And that whole complex profitability stuff has filtered throughout the world. So we have to do a better job of educating our young people about, hey man, it's not just about, going and doing your little time and being done. Like you are worth something. The Holy Ghost pulling on me now, and I know this ain't that type of show. But listen, man, you're worth. Slavery means that you were worth something. They had to make you feel less than so that you won't know your worth. Come on, talk to me, y'all. That means you are worth. The mere fact that I'd rather put you behind bars and keep you uneducated and make sure you don't know no better and make sure you don't rehabilitate says that there's something you may be valuable and there's something that you're worth that I need to keep you from understanding that you're worth.
I wrote a poem about it.
What did you do? Did you really? What was the title?
Black man.
Black Man. You sure did. I ain't heard that in a long time.
I'm not
You
about
don't know
to do
it?
it.
You gotta go
I'm
get
not
your-
about
Come
to
on,
do
man.
it.
Bless the people.
No.
Come
Maybe
on, bless
next
the
time.
people.
I'm not ready.
So I think that this is and some crimes. Come on,
And
Hodge.
this is coming.
This is from law enforcement. Hodge
This
is
is a
on with
law
us.
enforcement officer.
This is a law enforcement officer. Some crimes are made for blacks, specifically. And next week you'll be able to hear a lot of that in detail.
I have a question.
But people are waking up, man. That's what I love about God, man. He just opens our eyes over time, and people are becoming more conscious. Yes.
Where did they? And you used it tonight more than once. I'm hearing this new term, black and brown people. Black and brown. That ain't always been around. And I would like to call myself pecan tan, if I may.
That's brown. Pecan tan is brown.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's pecan tan.
Tan is brown.
Well, my kids are yellow.
Well, they yellow now. That is true.
But
My
I
kids
have been
are
hearing
yellow.
that. I've been hearing that a lot. And was
Brad,
just
Dub, what up,
wondering.
family? No, they are yellow. The kids are yellow. I'm not gonna disagree with that. It's some yellow folk in my family.
Just wondering where that came from all of a sudden. Just here recently, I've started hearing that whole black and brown
We all
thing.
brown, right? We're not black. I mean, we're all brown, but I get
But
it.
I even heard, and I'm going to pull that article too. It was on NPR, and they were talking about, you know, not in some, but over in Africa, there is no black. You're not black. You're not African American. You're from, they call you the tribe that you're from. There are no colors. Like, where we get this whole color thing?
What do you mean where we get it? Like we made it up?
I ain't talking about.
We know where we get it from. It was given to us. Come on now. Let's be honest.
But
We know where it come from.
It's I need to find out what tribe I'm from. Then y'all gonna call me that. How about that?
Oh Lord, now she gonna find out what tribe she from. So what you gonna do? Ancestry.com?
I don't know.
You better do Black Ancestry if you're gonna find out what tribe you from.
But I was just wondering about it.
You from some tribe that was yellow.
Oh, stop.
Yes, you are. You like Cherokee or something, Native American or something, because you definitely ain't
I'd
from
like
no,
to find out.
You ain't from no Malawi.
You don't know that.
That's for sure. us black people from Africa. You from Europe or somewhere.
Close these people
Listen,
out.
y'all. I really appreciate y'all rocking out with us on tonight. Shabaka Tribe,
Oh,
come
Lord.
on here. I really appreciate y'all rocking out with us on tonight, man. This has been
Thank y'all again.
This has been good. It's been good. It's been good. And it's just the first of the dialogue. If y'all think this was good, part 2 is going to be great.
Really good.
And it's going to be eye-opening just hearing some of the stories of these gentlemen, man, and just seeing how successful they are in life with what they've gone through and what they've come through. And I think more importantly than anything, it is making sure that we know what this is all about. You know what I mean?
T'Challa tribe. Sorry, I'm reading comments at the same time.
T'Challa, Martin, and Eddie got out. Edith, you still on Martin and Eddie got out?
You
It
know,
must
she
be just
probably-
came.
yeah.
It was probably just seen. Okay, all right. Hodge say enjoyed the night. Hodge, man, I might get you to come on with us too, man. Just to, well,
Right.
no,
Oh, never
Hodge.
mind.
Yeah, I'm
Never
gonna leave
mind,
that
never
alone.
mind,
You
never
got
mind.
too much to. I
Work
don't want nobody to be.
related.
Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
nobody to be tripping because you got on with that kind of conversation.
Right. It's like
but
insider information.
My auntie, Sisters United by Love, say, bravo, bless you, auntie, love you.
Thank y'all.
Let's do better, man. Let's do better by each other. Let's not be so quick to judge. Let's not be so quick to cast.
Let's just look at things through a different lens.
There's always more than what meets the eye, and I wish my young people really understood what this was all about. You know what I mean? And they wouldn't go out and be so easy to get in trouble. And you know what I mean? Knowing that there's something working, there's a greater force working against them, looking to throw the book at them. You know, gun laws. I mean, just there's so much. Maurice, great show. Thank you, Maurice. Next week, y'all tune in next week. I'm not gonna give no nugget because
we gave a lot of them.
Gave enough nuggets. Just make sure y'all rock out with us next week. All right, we love y'all.
Y'all have a good night.
We gotta go get something to eat. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to the LiT TV show with E.C. Weston. Don't miss next week's webisode. Same time, same bat channel. Hey, we're viewer supported, so don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Edward Weston, our Instagram, E-C Weston, and our Facebook, E-C Weston. Also, let us know what you'd like us to talk about on upcoming shows. Wait. Stop the music. I almost forgot the most important thing. We need LiT team members. If you'd like to help keep this show going, join the LiT team by donating $20 or more via Cash App at $LiT TV show. And we'll recognize you live on next week's show. Okay, bring the music back. Next Thursday, 7 p.m. Be sure to tune in because you won't want to miss it. And until then, stay lit, my friends.
I